Julie the Hairapist is in, and today I'm going to do red. I've never ever colored my hair red before, but I'm feeling reddish. Plus, I started thinking it's a great color for me to show you guys because many of you are coming out of brunette and redheads, and direct dyes are a great way to camouflage that color, that line of demarcation. But I always like to let you guys know these direct dyes wash completely out. And I'm doing it live. It's going to be kind of sometimes boring, but I figure you guys will pop in here and ask questions and that'll fill up our time. Because every time I go live, everybody comes back and says, oh, I wish you would have done that, or I wish you would have stayed on longer. So hopefully I don't bore you too much today. But we're going red today. And I want to do a better job explaining direct dyes. And unfortunately, I've talked to you guys about this before. My industry is super undertrained. We're not forced to get trained. And therefore, we come out of beauty school knowing what streptococci is and the occipital bone, but we're not taught the difference between semi-permanent, permanent, bleach, how to use it correctly, hair cutting, how to formulate hair color. I know you're probably, really? Well, what do they teach you? Yeah. They teach us health and safety. They teach us to put a hot sign out when you have a hot iron so your clients don't get burned. But the science behind everything, the cutting, the coloring, none of that is taught in beauty school. They give us some basics, but all of the major education comes outside of beauty school. That's why we're so undertrained, because we're relying on the individual to force themselves to get trained. That being said, the industry tries to compensate for our lack of knowledge by also creating more lack of knowledge. I brought out a bunch of different brands to show you guys how different the industry is in how they label things. Matrix, 1, 2, 3. These are 3 different Matrix products. This is their sink called Pulp, and this one is called Color Graphics. Every single one of these colors are direct dyes. They have no developer. That's what a direct dye means. This is called peroxide. Professionally, I like for my stylist to call it developer because otherwise we get confused with the stuff that, we rinse our mouth out with or clean a wound. But chemically, they are the same. Hydrogen peroxide. This is what we use with color. Semi-permanent color, demi-permanent color, and permanent color all has a developer. This is the little thing that changes and creates a line of demarcation. And that's where people get confused. When you're mixing hair color with the developer, you are going to be left with a line of demarcation, which is why I hate the term semi-permanent, because it teaches people it's going to wash out. It's not going to wash out. The difference between demi, semi, and permanent hair color is the level of developer. What the developer does to our hair is it pokes holes in our hair and brings out the warm tones in our hair. If I'm only using a 3 or 5% volume peroxide, it's just it's not powerful enough to brighten the hair, lighten the hair. But it is powerful enough to poke holes in the hair so that now my hair will permanently accept color. So what semi-permanent and demi-permanent do is they deposit only color. They don't lighten it, brighten it, but they permanently change it. And the reason why is because of the developer. Direct dyes do not have a developer. Whatever comes out of the tube is the color. It doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, got this from Walmart. So for all of my people that are not in the States, you're in Canada, Mexico, the UK, Ireland. Hi, Carol, if you're watching. Even your grocery stores have direct dyes. They are all a what you see is what you get. There's no developer, so it means when it comes out of the tube, that is the color. There is no, when you mix semi-permanent, demi-permanent hair color with developer, it doesn't have a real color yet. It develops into a color. That's the difference between a true direct dye and a semi-permanent, demi-permanent, permanent hair color. There's nothing going to change this. This is it. This said red, so that's what it came out as, red. But if I put semi-permanent or demi-permanent red on my hair, it would not come out looking red. It would come out looking cream or whatever the manufacturer deems, because once you mix the developer with it, then it becomes the red color. It becomes the brown color, whatever it is. But these direct dyes, this is it. All right? Why do I love these direct dyes? 2 reasons. For my silver transitioners, if you have an outgrowth and a large one, you can match it to this old color by making your colors. Let's say, Julie, I don't want to be fire engine red. I completely understand, because when we put, remember, it's a what you see is what you get. When I put the red on the white, it's going to be red. There's not any other color that's going to create. But they make these colors in everything you can imagine, except they don't make a ton of browns and auburns, but you can make them. There's a company, I think it's Miss Clairol. They make they call it temporary color, and I think it comes in a bottle. I'll Google it and put it in the link in the description. But they're about the closest that you can get to brown colors that are direct dyes. What you see is what you get. The problem with theirs is they're like Fanciful Rue. If you guys remember, our moms used to put those in the hair. There's too much dullness to them. They actually dull the hair out a little bit. That, I think, comes from them putting too much blue in the color. That's where you can control it. So this is Pravana's black. I gotta look, there's a comment. Oh, what do you think of overtone? I don't think overtone is bad. I think a lot of people complain about the wrong tone that it picks up. But guess what? You could make that mistake with these too. With the overtone, if you want to know what it's going to do to your hair, put it on a white piece of paper, because what you see is what you get. Remember, I said there's 2 ways to use these direct dyes. One is on our white hair and one is on bleached hair. Bleach is different. Bleached hair, we're canceling a color. The bleached hair is orange, orange, or yellow. In that instance, you're using overtone to get rid of your yellow, to get rid of your orange. So you're going to want, remember the color wheel when we were kids? Red and yellow make green. You want to go across your color wheel. What it goes across the color wheel from yellow is purple. What goes across the color wheel from orange is green. So really what you're saying is you want a green-based overtone if your hair is orange, and you want a purple-based overtone if your hair is yellow. I don't know all the overtone colors. If they don't make them like that, then no, you don't want it. If the color is purple and you put it on your white hair, it's going to be purple. I think that the overtone has some conditioner in it. I'm not for that. When we're trying to cancel colors, or we're trying to get this white hair to take a color, I need some intensity. A lot of people will say they put the toner in and it washed out right away. That could be a couple different things. Could be dirty hair. It could be you didn't leave it on long enough. It could be you didn't apply it correctly. There could be a lot of different reasons why it didn't fix your problem. But if the color went on and it's the wrong color, you didn't go across the color wheel correctly. All right, I am going to make this red not so red. You're welcome. Thank you for your support and watching my horrible, I can admit it. I don't explain things all that great, and my dogs will probably bark in a minute. My teenage son's going to be here, probably making noise that I really don't want him to. All right, I'm mixing brands. I don't care if you guys mix brands too. It doesn't matter. I used the Matrix Color Graphics, and this is Pravana's Black. I need to make a better mixture because it's not showing up. Okay, here comes my son. Let's see how well they do. Or not. All right, I'm going to mix some red. I'm live, so you guys cannot be too noisy. Teenagers coming in. Thanks, guys. Hi, Jack. The other two were already here. That's why I said hi, Jack. Okay, I'm adding. There's how much red. Of course, if I was doing my whole head, I need more color than this, but I just want to show you how to mix so that you get to a color that you're willing to put on your head. So now I'm going to mix these two together. And you can imagine what the black is doing to the red. It's going to make it a darker red. I'm going to put it on a fresh piece of paper so you can see. All right, so there it is. Now it's a nice auburn color. It isn't flaming red anymore. So I went from that to that by adding the black. So if I'm somebody who has beautiful auburn hair and I'm growing out my hair and I've got like 4 or 5 inches, that's what you need to do. Create that color. I'm going to show you how to put it on because I'm going to put it on myself. Put it on your new growth. Let it sit for 20 minutes. Rinse it off. Ba-bam! You have just colored up your hair just like you did when you were doing permanent color. But guess what? This one's going to last depending on porosity. Everything is about porosity. My overly curly haired girls, my African American girls, my biracial girls, I don't like all those terms because curly hair comes in every kind of human you can imagine. Your hair will take better because your hair is more porous. So when you do these colors, your hair might last 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even a month. If you have super straight hair, unfortunately, you have what we call a lot of cuticle layer. Hair doesn't adhere to that. The color doesn't adhere to that hair that well, especially these kind of colors. Your hair may only last a week or 2, but it's better than it washing out in a day, which is what like the fanciful roux and those wash out in like 1 or 2 days. Now, let's say you are not that red. You're like, Julie, you're nowhere near my color. Guess what? Let's say you're the black. You have black hair and you're growing out your jet black hair. You can go straight on. Try not to use dirty brushes because it does. Okay, now that looks great, right? But one thing I want you to recognize, when I pull it down and I lighten it, Notice how it's turning a little purple. If you don't want it to be, when you put this on your white hair, if you are solidly white, this is probably going to come out looking a little eggplantish at the scalp because they had to put a ton of blue in the color to make it be black. Guess what? Then I want you to do the opposite. Remember, to make this person, this person was all red and a little bit of black. Now, if I just add a teeny bit of red to this black, now I'm not so eggplantish, okay? You can calm it down. Oh, you can even, to the law of color, red, yellow, and blue. Believe it or not, you can even create brown from red, yellow, and blue. It is 3 parts yellow, 2 parts red, 1 part blue makes brown. I wonder if I have yellow. I do. Hold on. I'm going to show you. And I even have the same color line, which is really funny. Okay, yellow and blue. So even if you can't find the perfect color, you can make the perfect color. All right. Yellow. 3 parts yellow. That's important. Why do we need more yellow? Because yellow is the number one. Oh, this isn't coming out very yellow. Okay, this isn't going to work. This yellow is not really yellow. Let me see if I don't have any yellow. All right, I don't have yellow, but I'm going to show you red. Anybody else's color blue? Because it doesn't matter. Oh, they put little foils on them. I love anybody's line. Pravana, Pulp, Riot, Matrix, they all make these colors. And remember, I said you could go to Walmart and get your color. It's ColorRista. Beautiful color. You would say, oh, it's a little bit bright for me, Julie. That's okay. You can just, again, add your black. Two different companies. Nice brown color. 2 red. Let's add more black. Ooh, I should have put gloves on. I'm going to make a mess of my hands. This type of color, you 100% want to use gloves. Now, if you happen to get it on your hands, it's not a big deal. You can just, how much darker I made it, just by adding black. Remember, it is truly a what you see is what you get when you're using these colors. The difference is, what are you putting it on? Are you putting it on white hair that is natural, or are you putting it on porosity? My skin is porous, so of course it's going to absorb. Or are you putting it on bleached hair? Bleached hair will absolutely stain. It's one of the reasons why when you're using the bleached hair, I thought I had a towel. Oh, and here's my gloves. When you're putting it on bleached hair, it's going to stain. But the cure for bleached hair are pastels. If you're using color on bleached hair and you don't want it to be fiery red, but you do want to do some reds, maybe do pastels instead. Do a pastel silver. Oh, which is why I recommend the Pravana silver all day long. I love that Pravana silver. When it comes out, it's pastel purple, because what we're putting it on all day long is that bleached hair. For my transitioners, sadly, my industry, I told you, doesn't get it. A transitioning highlight is exactly the same as a highlight that I would do to make somebody blonde. The only difference is what I'm putting on it to tone it. When I transition my clients, I'm bleaching out their platinum, well, pale yellow, and then I put on silver toner. A silver toner is always purple, because across the wheel, remember, is purple. I don't have Pravana silver, by the way, because they are repackaging right now. So if you've tried to get it and can't, smoke. My next favorite. Let me show you what smoke looks like. And why we put it on the bleached hair. It's very, very light. This is going to get rid of the yellow hair and make it silver. And why do I love the direct dyes? For transitioning, you don't have to worry about it changing the old natural color, or sorry, the old artificial color. It's going to do nothing to it. You don't have to worry about it touching your new growth. It's going to do nothing. It's a light pastel purple. If I put that smoke on my silver hair, it would do nothing. Now, if I was a long, completely white-haired person, a lot of you complain about the yellowing, and the purple shampoos don't work on you. The smoke or the Pravana silver would be a great thing to put on your yellow hair. It'll get rid of your old yellowing that comes from just old hair. Some of it could be minerals from your water. Some of it could be your blow dryer. The yellowing is very different. Not everybody goes yellow. I actually don't have a yellowing problem. It might be because I use all these colors. I don't know. But I don't have a yellowing problem. And by the way, I flat iron every day. I have to. A, my hair looks terrible if I don't flat iron. And then B, I've got a little bit of frizz to my hair. So I have to iron my hair. And after menopause, my hair stinks. I cannot go 2-3 days without washing it. I used to, but I can't anymore. Okay. I am going to go red. I put all of these colors on out. You know what? Can you turn that down? Okay, hopefully I fixed it. My thing keeps trying to connect to the wrong. Okay, I'm going to fix this and come back.